to Big D, where the Blackhawks came in here a couple of weeks ago and beat the Stars 5-2. There were 2 late goals in the game for Chicago that made the score a little bit more one-sided than the game actually was. But Corey Crawford, as we mentioned, back in the blue paint for our Ford goaltending matchup tonight. Those 16 wins are 2 more than anybody else in the league has. And, of course, Wednesday, he got his first night off in a month. The last time he had a night off was October the 24th, so he was very happy to watch Antti Raanta turn in a very solid performance. And speaking of workhorses, Kari Lehtonen was off the last Dallas game on Tuesday. That was his first night off in 5 weeks. So he's got 10 of the 12 Dallas victories to his credit so far this year. And we're underway in Dallas, and the Hawks quickly making a change. The Roussel line, or I should say the Garbutt line, opened up for Dallas. Fiddler, Garbutt, and Roussel on the ice to start the game, and an immediate icing call.
And this first period of Blackhawks hockey is brought to you by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Honda dealers.
Talk about the officials tonight. Gord Dwyer, and there's Brad Watson, who are paired up. The linesmen are Darren Gibbs and Mark Wheeler.
The reason the faceoff's coming back to center, I think, Pat, it was going to be an icing. Corey Crawford came out to play it. One referee whistled at icing, and a little quick on the whistle.
Now the Stars. Roussel bounced it in there. Fiddler had a jump free along the boards. Hossa got it out. Now chasing after it is Toews. This line had a big night for the Hawks the last time these teams played. In fact, interesting because in that game, Lindy Ruff, the Dallas coach, started the Seguin line against Jonathan Toews. And as the game wore on and the Toews line was dominating, they switched to the Cody Eakin line. That didn't work. Now he starts the Vern Fiddler line against them tonight.
He's going to try and find a line. Although the Vern Fiddler line had a big game against the Anaheim Ducks. I think they were responsible for 6 points in that game. They won that game 6-3.
Ben Smith working in the corner along with Kruger. He came up with a Marcus Kruger's pass picked off by Jamie Benn, and he cleared it to center ice. Now the Stars dump it. Seguin in with Hjalmarsson. Oduya chipped it up the board. Golick gets help from Kruger, but Goligoski unable to keep it in. Well, these 2 great stars for Dallas, Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin, who play together. And Hawks will be very aware whenever that duo is on the ice. Tonight they're starting with Nichushkin, a young Soviet who's got a lot of skill. Last time these teams played, Peverly was on the other wing. Here's a Keith takeaway, springing Kane up the board. Patrick Kane pulls up, takes a look, now walks and wires, and a save. Rebound. Kane back toward the net, but Cole there for the Stars. And Keith challenged by Horkoff, who knocked it away.
It was a great steal by Duncan Keith deep in his own zone. He followed the play up and almost got to that rebound. Well, he did, but it was blocked just in front of the net.
Now Hanzus bounced it loose to Patrick Kane. Here comes Keith, whose shot was blocked. And Jordy Benn out it to the veteran Gonchar. Benn sends it ahead. Whitney chipped it deep. Chase onto the corner. Met there by Leddy. Alex Chason trying to pry it loose, but instead Leddy came up with it. And his pass winds up at center. There's Gonchar. Trying to change on the move. Gonchar will spin back. And now Whitney gains the line. On a center one, that's deflected back to the boards. And eventually taken by Sheldon Brookbank. On this road trip, Brookbank has played 3 games. He's down the ice for 30 minutes. Has been a +2, Brookbank. Here's Fiddler in on Leddy. Dropped it back. Garbutt along. Shot. Save. Crawford. Rebound. Not sure where it is. And he's able to locate and hang on to it. And then some pushing and shoving after the fact.
Well, this is that line that had the big night against the Anaheim Ducks. They sparked that 5-goal third period where they beat Anaheim 6-3. And watch the quick shot. Garbett, number 16, holds up at the blue line, gets the shot on net. Vern Fiddler going hard. Crawford not sure where it is. It was loose for a second, then he covers it up. And that's that great steal by Duncan Keith. And watch number 2 at the bottom of the screen. He'll join the rush. Ends up getting this rebound. And just as he shoots, it gets blocked in front.
All right, now with the Hawks getting the Kruger line out there, the Fiddler line, which opened the game going up against Taves. It's Fiddler against the Hawks' fourth line here. Meanwhile, the Stars' Fiddler gets it into the Hawks' zone. Vern Fiddler checked in behind the net. Now Ben Smith able to one-handed ahead. Here comes Bolig. He gets it in for a change. Robidoux for Dallas had a funny bounce and nearly turned it over. Then he did. Here's Taves putting it out in front. Came back to me, shoots. That hit his home man. I think Hossa might have actually gotten away with that shot that otherwise might have entered the net. Sagan to the other end. Driving, centering, just missed Jamie Benn.
A good stick by Hjalmarsson there. He got just in the way of Jamie Benn at the last second.
Now Ben steps back in on Hjalmarsson. Long range shot in and out of the glove with Crawford. Oduya there. And now Hjalmarsson.
Wide open hockey all of a sudden. A couple of rushes going both directions. And you saw that shot by Ben. He's got a great release. Corey Crawford had problems hanging on to it.
Now Hossa knocked off his stick to Keith. Hossa once more working against Daly. Center one, Seabrook. Oh, what a point-blank save by Ledman. Now Hossa again trying to center, just missing sharp. And Seabrook able to keep it in momentarily. Then Daly cleared it for the Stars.
The Blackhawks defense do such a great job sliding in from the blue line. They almost sneak in, and that time it was Hossa spotting Seabrook. As you mentioned, Pat, great save by Leighton.
Gonchar around for Cole, who missed it, and now Oduya. And his pass deflect. He'll try again. And the Hawks get it in there. Jordie Benn, Jamie's older brother, checked in the corner. And Whitney needs help to get it out. Gonchar. Here to Eakin, he rolled it to center. Now Patrick Kane had to jump away from him. Eakin steps into the Hawk zone. He centered one. Here's Whitney. Blocker save and a good one by Crawford. Rebound taken by Hjalmarsson. Long pass finds Peary, who will send it in there.
And the 41-year-old Ray Whitney, still great wheels. Shows some good speed to the outside there, shooting in stride.
Brookbank had his shot blocked. Held in Versteeg. Down low to Peary. He got grabbed by Dillon. Then Shaw came up with a to Versteeg. Chopped away, and out comes Roussel, feathering it ahead. Garbett gets the line. Garbett shooting. Little save by Crawford. No rebound available. 6.5 minutes remaining in the opening period. The Hawks got very close to striking when Hossa found Seabrook joining the play, but Lettinen had the answer that time.
And from our Xfinity Telestrator, watch the rookie Nichushkin. He's responsible for this man, Brent Seabrook, who's going to come in. But watch him check his shoulder. He's going to look this way. And as we run this, Brent Seabrook comes in. Nichushkin looks over his left shoulder. He's not there. Seabrook's wide open. It's a great chance, and that's a great ace scoring chance for Brent Seabrook.
And now Bolig gets it out of there. Jordie Benn looking for brother Jamie, who tapped it deep. And back come the Hawks. Kruger put a pass to the feet of Smith. Oduya looking for Smith on right wing. Pushed it into Dallas territory. Gonchar on it. Jamie Benn. Heard it for Nichushkin. He gets it into the zone. And Keith one hands it around to Chalmerson. Out comes the captain. Jonathan Toews for Patrick Sharp. Got away from Horcoff. Sharp cuts in shooting. And a juggling save made by Lehtinen.
Well, 1 Goal 2 is on sale now. The 240-page hardcover book chronicles the Blackhawks' dream season from the streak to the Stanley Cup to the banner raising. Plus, each book includes Blackhawks TV Championship DVD 17 seconds, available at all Blackhawks store locations.
Jonathan Toews on this 5-game road trip up to now. 2 goals, 3 assists. This puck is cleared to center, and Toews has got it. Now Seabrook to Keith. Hossa could not kick that one to the stick. And Toews gets the line. Toews going wide, lowered his shoulder, tried to get to the net. The puck out in front of him. To Seabrook, a blast. And a good block by Eric Cole out in front. And the Stars try to clear. A good keep, Seabrook. And Peverley bounced it out of there.
Blackhawks do such a great job not giving up the offensive line, not backing off too quickly. And a good example there, the block by Brent Seabrook. And later on, it was Duncan Keith trying to pinch in from that left side.
Here comes Brandon Saad. A back pass for Toews. A quick shot off a skate to Daly. And now the Stars break back. Whitney wants Eakin. Good stick there from Leddy. Back of the goal it goes. Picked up by Brookbank. And back comes Saad. He's got Leddy with him. The pass just deflecting out of Nick Leddy's reach. And the Stars will take a defensive zone draw.
One thing the Dallas Stars don't have is an overly mobile defense. There's some big guys back there, but Jonathan Toews takes advantage of that. Goes around Goligoski, gets the shot on net. Here's the follow-up attempt, and you're right, Pat. That's a great block by Eric Cole, the former Montreal Canadian. Gets a stick on it. That was his man out of the point. Left winger responsible for the right defenseman. You see Jonathan Toews' numbers against these Dallas Stars.
Michael Hanzus, and the 2 games he's played back in the Hawks lineup has played to 25 minutes. In between Saad and Kane since his return. Now Roussel. Tried to shoot it in. It wound up in the Blackhawks bench. A reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, look forward to Miller time later in the game tonight. It will be brought to you by Miller Lite.
Good look at Joel Quenneville, who has now won 678 career games. He leads all active coaches. And the guy down to his left, Lindy Ruff, is 3rd on that list.
All right, Hawks changing on the move here as Gonchar leads the Stars out. Jamie Benn fights his way into the zone. Now the shot, and it's blocked away by Crawford. And the Hawks getting the changes we said on the move with the dangerous Sagan line out there. Quenneville apparently wants to match him up with the Kruger line. So then the Hawks' 4th line in a very prominent situation.
A little bit of psychology there too, Pat. You know, you put out your 4th line, they're going to make sure they're not scored on. At least they're going to try their hardest, and they've really earned it. And it's been a while now. They're getting second line type ice time. They're going to get there like the 2nd time off of the start of the game.
Peverley at last, fought off by Crawford. Rich Peverley got all of it. And Crawford, that hit him up high, and it looked as if it might have stung him a little bit.
You know, Rich Peverley, the former Boston Bruin, was he and Sagan coming to Dallas, and a high riser. Corey Crawford just getting up now. Maybe caught him in the collarbone. It was a stinger for sure. He quick to cover, and right now he's got the referee looking just below his mask.
Corey Crawford tonight going for his 100th career NHL victory. 99, 47, and 22 entering the action tonight. Peverley checked by Brookbank. Hossa got to it, and out comes Sharp. Patrick Sharp has 6 goals in his last 11 games. Brings this one around for Hossa. Hossa dropped it back to Leddy. Chipped it towards Sharp. Touch pass. Hossa was at his feet. And the Stars able to get back. Peverley missed Cole with the pass. Now Sheldon Brookbank. There's some skating room as the Stars were changing. This pass for Hossa, who was in ahead of the play. Offside is whistled with half the first period gone by, and we're still scoreless in Texas.
Well, tomorrow, don't miss the final game of the circus trip as Patrick Kane and the boys head into Phoenix to take on the Coyotes. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Chevy Blackhawks pregame live on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, now the Peary line on for Chicago. The Cody Eakin line on for Dallas, and the Stars get it in. O'Duya got sandwiched in behind. Trevor Daley, another taken away. And back goes Alex Goligoski. Whitney pounds it back in there. Shaw turned it over. Here's Eakin, a turnaround attempt that's off the leg to chase out and shoot. And a save by Crawford. Rebound cleared, not out. Peary following up, though. Able to get it to Shaw. Andrew Shaw wants Chris Versteeg. That puck was up off the ice, though. And well, they work in the corner. Peary got to it. Seabrook for Keith. Looking for a lane. Tees up along. Glass and a save by Lettinen. Rebound to Eakin.
Sorry, that was redirected too by Chris Versteeg out front.
Daley gets in. They'll have to ring it around the board. And Fiddler gave a jolt to Keith. Fiddler hangs on to it. But a neat strip by Seabrook. Then he turned it over. Quick shot. Good save, Crawford. Ryan Garbutt had a chance off a Seabrook giveaway to have a one-on-one with Crawford, and the goalie beat him that time.
Yeah, that's a couple of giveaways now in the Blackhawks zone. Earlier it was Andrew Shaw. That time Brent Seabrook, who, as you mentioned, picked the pocket of the Dallas Stars forward, but then made a quick pass right onto the stick of Garbutt. Garbutt's had a couple of good shots. He's got speed. In this fourth line, all three of these guys, that's Dominic Roussel. There's Garbutt. Vern Fiddler, the third guy on this fourth line. All good skaters. They're going to get their looks. Ryan Garbutt, undrafted in the NHL. This Dallas Stars team had 4 players who were never drafted but are currently now playing in the NHL.
Well, that's the new coach, Lindy Ruff, here in Dallas. The new general manager, Jimmy Nill, who for years and years was the top gun for Kenny Howland in Detroit, one of the franchises, the Hawks. When they started their rebuild, they felt that Detroit had a period of sustained excellence that they wanted to copy. And maybe the goal would be to exceed it. All right, here comes Ben Smith. Driving wide. Smith with a backhander that's blocked. And he's taken down by Gonchar, and the Stars come away. Fiddler looks against Brookbank. Roussel is checked by Kruger. And now Leddy takes a look. He's got a little skating room. Nick Leddy with those great wheels gets the line. Put it to Kane. Patrick Kane hangs on. Put it to Hjalmarsson. Long wrist shot was deflected wide. Bounce back toward the blue paint, but Sagan on it for the Stars. In fact, they come a lead for Jamie Benn. Hjalmarsson with him. Benn trying to get to the net. Hjalmarsson a good play. And what a save by Crawford. What a move by Benn to get the scoring chance when he's being well covered. Now Hantu settles things down. And O'Duya has a problem. He turned it over. Benn for Sagan, and a good play by Saad to steal it, and he was able to trickle it out.
Yeah, that was a great recovery there by the Blackhawks after the turnover. And you mentioned Jamie Benn protecting the puck, and they're doing the spinorama, getting a partial shot on net.
Benn threw it away to Seabrook, who's long with his blocker to side. by Letnan. Jamie Benn flipped it back ahead. Now Horkoff pass picked off Keith. And he turned it over again. Here's Goligoski. Well, the Hawks have had a lot more turnovers here in the last 2 or 3 minutes than we've seen in entire periods. Here comes Taves in. And it's back of the goal, taken by Daly.
Well, that's what plagued them in that Colorado game. 3 turnovers led to the Colorado Avalanche first 3 goals, the only loss on this road trip. And normally they manage the puck a lot better than they are right now.
Sharp gets into Brookbank. His long shot into the glove of Kari Letnan with 6 minutes remaining in a scoreless first. The Hawks are outshot 10-5 so far, but nothing yet has gone in.
Welcome back to Dallas. Jamie Benn with a great rush up there. Watch him use his right hip, protecting the puck, sticking his leg in, realizes he can't make it to the net, so he does a mini spin around, but gets a good shot, a couple of shots on Corey Crawford, who stands his ground. Pretty good November for Jamie Benn. We should point out, Corey, 10 shots, 10 saves in this period thus far.
Here's the draw. Shaw, who took that faceoff, has had 3 goals and an assist on this road trip. He's been a +3 in the 5 games played so far in this extended swing. Here comes Eakin looking to move in. He could really shoot it, Cody Eakin. That's really be an offside play. The Hawks will want to not let him have a free stick anywhere around the net.
Cody Eakin's been hot at home, although the Dallas Stars have not played a lot of home games. I think just 3 of their last, I don't know if my math is right, 12, does that sound right? Played 9 on the road, 3 at home. But he does have 3 goals in his last 3 home contests. One of those against the Chicago Blackhawks back November 9th.
Yeah, the one thing that the Stars have, they're 3 games over 500 entering play, but a very high percentage of their games have been away, so they're going to have to really make good use of their home ice opportunities. This is their 10th home game of the year. And now the Hawks, Kruger gets away from Jordy Benn, who had lost his stick. But good support there from Garvin. Dillon checked by Kane, and then they took a run at Patrick Kane. Roussel led. Roussel, keep your head up when he's on the ice. Here's a Garvin putting it in behind. And Saad clears it around the boards. Keith.
It's funny, Pat, when Roussel was skating back through the center ice here, 3/4 of the Blackhawks bench was up yelling at him. We'll have to see if anything comes of that.
Well, the last time he was on the ice, I think you were reading a promo at the time, but one of the officials with rather animated conversation. Here's Kane, but what led to that, after whistle, Shaw and Roussel had a little extracurricular going on.
He's had a big hit on Duncan Keith earlier in this first period also.
Here's Smith on Goligoski. Gets away from right in. And a save, and a second save as well by Kari Letnan. Great maneuver by Ben Smith to get himself a chance. But the door was shut. Sagan with a steal around Oduya. Cutting in, diving play. Oduya. Then back came Smith to steal a centering pass.
Yeah, good back checking there. Good dive by Johnny Oduya. Prevented that pass, or at least bought some time for the back checkers to get in position. Look out.
Jordy Benn nearly had a disaster, but now here's Leddy.
A tough couple of shifts, Jordy Benn. He was beaten twice by Marcus Kruger. Got some help on the back check, and then he just blew a tire.
And Crawford came out of the net to play. The puck is turned over. They score. Rip Peverly into a fairly gaping goal after Crawford came out to play. It didn't work out to his advantage, and the Hawks down 1.
Well, Corey Crawford, normally pretty solid when he comes out to play the puck. He was a little undecided this time. And when you do come out to play that, you've got to make sure. See, the puck goes off a skate. I think he thought maybe it was outside the trapezoid, didn't want to play it, let it go, and that allowed the Dallas Stars to get to it. That's Sean Horkoff, former Edmonton Oiler, who eventually gets it, just throws it in front. And the goal by Peverly Gives them the 1-0 lead. There was a missed pass by the defenseman that went off the skate of the Blackhawks all the way back into their own zone. And that's when they broke down.
All right, the Hawks now get it in. Eakin grabbed by Peary. He's lucky he didn't get a penalty there. Had a glove full of jersey, Peary. And the play continues as Shaw turns back. Now Eakin with a steal for Whitney. Good stick out in the passing lane from Versteeg. And the Hawks get back in. Peary missed Shaw, though, and Goligoski for Dallas. Hjalmarsson back. I think Hjalmarsson, who in Calgary in the last Hawks game, had 23 minutes of ice time. That was the most on the Hawks. And you like the fact 23 was their leading ice time component. So now a huge workload for the ice time leader that particular night, who now takes a look for the long shot right into the glove of Lettinen.
Your BMO Harris bank check replay. Just a few minutes ago, Dominic Roussel, huge hit on Patrick Kane. We didn't see him coming. Puck was in his skates along the boards. Roussel unleashes on him. And as I mentioned, 3/4 of the bench talking to him, and wouldn't be surprised if at some point Brandon Bollig goes over and talks with Roussel.
Now the draw. Ends up in the corner. Kane is checked. Held in. Oduya's long shot. Dipped on its way to the net. Good save with a left pad by Lettinen. Oduya tries to keep it in. Sagan clears the zone. Patrick Kane has 5 game-winning goals, including back-to-back Hawks wins. That's most in the league. Hawks will change him up as they keep control of it. Taves fights through a check at center. His pass, though, didn't connect. Osa gets back in. Osa sandwiched on the boards. Knocked loose, held in Seabrook to Keith. Seabrook looking for a lane. A long centering attempt, jump away from Sharp. Patrick Sharp had it knocked loose, and Nichushkin rolled it to center. We get to the final minute now of the opening period. And Dillon dropped it back. Now here's Peverley, the game's goal scorer. His pass picked off at center, and here comes Versteeg with Shaw heading for the net. Dillon hit it up the board. Peverley. Now Robidoux. Dallas sends it deep. Hjalmarsson at the boards. Shaw able to regain control. Here's Oduya. We get down to 15 left. He chipped it deep. Hawks are changing. And the first period is going to come to an end with the Dallas Stars owning the lead. Saad's pass knocked away from Handzus. And the first period is complete. There were 11 shots on goal for Dallas, 9 for Chicago. And the Stars will take the lead into the opening intermission. Hawks had a couple of pretty good chances that Kari Lehtonen was able to answer, especially the first 10 minutes of the opening period. But then a Blackhawks miscue in behind the net leads to a Rich Peverley tally. And that right now is the difference in the game.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by Hyundai. Save big at Hyundai's Black Friday Everyday Sales Event, going on now through December 2nd. BMO Harris Bank. Get the official BMO Harris Blackhawks debit MasterCard at bmoharris.com/fancard. Ford. Check out America's freshest lineup at your local Ford store or at localfordstores.com. Corona Extra, who invites you to find your beach. And by Kia. Visit mykiachicago.com to learn why Kia is one of the fastest growing car brands in America.
Blackhawk fans, remember to bring your Blue Cross and Blue Shield card to all Blackhawk home games for a chance to be a part of the Blue Cross upgrade experience. Carry the card that gives you benefits wherever you are. Blue Cross through it all. And here in Dallas, the Stars hold a 1-0 lead over the Chicago Blackhawks. And in your Illinois lottery, anything is possible. This day in hockey history, November 29, 2002, Marian Hossa set an Ottawa Senators team record when he extended his point-scoring streak to 12 straight games. With a goal and an assist in a 6-2 win over the Capitals in Washington, he broke the mark of 11 set by former Ottawa Senator Alexei Yashin. Yashin did that in the 98-99 season.
Marian Hossa, who in his sees some pretty spectacular numbers over a marvelous NHL career that will likely land him in the Hall of Fame whenever he decides that he's had enough. But in the last 5 games that he's played, and of course he's been in and out of the lineup a couple of times, but last 5 games he's played in 4 goals and 2 assists. So dramatic when he is in the lineup because the offensive numbers are impressive enough. Then when you add in the way he plays the total team game and the ability to put people in bad spots when they've got the puck trying to make something happen, his back pressure is relentless, and just a joy to watch him go about his business. And he's got the puck. Go ahead.
He does. And this second period of Blackhawks hockey is brought to you by Chevy, and Chevy drives to Chicago.com.
Obadiah just safely cleared it. And Sharp to Seabrook. And that's an offside play.
Well, Pat, you talked about Marian Hossa when he doesn't have the puck, and he's almost as dangerous, especially in the offensive zone, because he puts pressure on defensemen, and he really makes them rush their plays, whether it's a bad pass or something they don't want to do. And that's what he's so good at, whether it's takeaways or just making the defense do something they don't really want to do. And it all stems from his skating, just such a powerful, straight up and down skater.
Hawks will send it in. Goligoski. Around. Bailey for Nichushkin. He able to work his way to center and put it deep. Hjalmarsson back. Side. There's the Chicago end. Now Patrick Kane. He has 15 goals this year. Only 2 guys in the league have more than that. And this one is dumped in. Peary tried for Kane. It was behind him, though. And now Nichushkin back to Chicago territory. Mistaken with a pass attempt. The Stars peel off. So out comes Brandon Peary, looking for his first road trip point tonight. Shaw with a wrist shot, sticked away by Lettinen. And Peary was taken away along the boards. Here come the Stars. Coverly. And a pass deflecting off of Brookbank and out of play.
Well, 17 Seconds is on sale now. The hour-long movie chronicling the dramatic Game 6 finish and summer-long celebration of the Stanley Cup. Get an all-access pass inside the locker room in Boston. Ride along on the parade buses and relive the magic of the banner-raising ceremony. Available at all Blackhawks store locations.
Brandon Bollig going to lay a lick on Gonchar. Bollig with 7 hits in his last 3 games. A little contact there, and now will do. He has to chase back. Kruger bounced it out of his own. Hancock able to shield it along the boards, and the Stars get it forward. Taken by Oduya. Trying to catch him in a change. Here comes Bowling. Oh, he had Kruger open in the middle. Good play, Robidas to break up the pass. Otherwise, Kruger was going to be home free. Now here's the steal. Good read by Chason. He races back. Gets Seabrook trying to catch him. Keith did, but a penalty is going to be called here against Chicago. Pass in front picked off, and it's going to be a penalty shot. They are going to give Alex Chason a penalty shot, says the referee, Gord Dwyer.
Chason.
Penalty shot being awarded to number 12, Dallas, being tripped on a breakaway.
Had a good stride on both of those defensemen, and you only need a half a stride in order to get a penalty shot. And there he is. The legs get taken out.
It was a real good read by Chason that started the whole thing when Keith tried to go rink wide. He was there to pick it off. So now you see the first ever attempt for Alex Chason. He comes in with speed on Crawford. Quickly shooting goal post. And the Hawks dodge a bullet. He came within an inch of doubling the lead.
Corey Crawford now still perfect in penalty shot situations. He's 9 for 9. Comes well out. Look at how high he is. Boy, almost at the hash marks on the circles. Now it starts backing in. Not a lot of net to shoot at. Chason puts it just outside the left post.
Now the draw. Keith for Sharp. He finds Toews. Now Hosa's got it. Gets the line. His pass broken up.
Well, hopefully the Blackhawks can use that for some energy. And although Corey Crawford really didn't stop that shot, there wasn't much that Chason could shoot at. They need something right now to energize the team.
Toews had a bouncing puck. Hosa got to it, then he was checked, and Roussel rolled it to center ice. Garvin dumped it. Stars change quickly, and out comes Keith. Able to get away from Ben as he had his pass then stolen. Here comes Seguin. Shoots one on a pad save. Crawford. Seguin is in behind. His pass, good read by Saad, and he stole it. Kane just missed Saad with the pass attempt. And the Dallas captain, Jamie Benn, cleared it ahead. Now Patrick Kane for Chicago. Flipped it in. Goligoski. To Daly. Able to settle things down for the home side. Trevor Daly. Or Jamie Benn put it in front, just missing Seguin, who was busting up the middle. And the Hawks failed to connect on another pass, but here's Lettinen coming out. Initially there was indication for icing, but Lettinen started to leave the blue paint, so we play on. And Goligoski for Seguin. Here's Eric Cole. Good stick by Versteeg at center. Peary gets back in. Brandon Peary spins it back. Here's Luddy with a long shot. Hit traffic out in front. And Seguin finds Peverley, rolling it out for Cole.
Dallas has done a real good job blocking shots from the point. And that's one area that's open in these hockey games against Dallas is the point. They collapse down around the front of their net. 2 D-men normally open, but they've done a real good job blocking shots from the back end.
Now the Stars able to clear it to center. We have played 25 minutes in the game, and the great stats man Dave Ross says they got 11 blocked shots so far, the Stars, tonight. Here's Gonchar, one-timer. Kicked away Crawford, and it's up off the netting.
Well, Monday the Bulls are done with their circus trip and are back at the United Center. Noah and the boys take on one of Chicago's very own in Anthony Davis and the Pelicans. Coverage begins at 6:30 with McDonald's Bulls pregame live, only on Comcast Sportsnet.
Get your tickets at 214-GO-STARS or visit DallasStars.com.
Now you mentioned that Corey Crawford basically a little over a month without getting a full game's rest. There was a couple of games he didn't start, but he had to come in relief of Nikolai. And you look at since the rest, the 11 3 games he played after getting pulled in the Colorado game. 3 wins and a .943 save percentage.
The Stars get in. Whitney driving, takes a look, spins it back. Was not in the wheelhouse for Gonchar. That cost him a chance, and now a steal by Toews on a centering attempt. He got yanked down, though, and Whitney gets it back. Jordy Ben moves in. His long shot blocked Foley and cleared ahead for Hossa, who chases in on a former Ottawa teammate, Gonchar. Hossa takes a shot, and that one partially blocked.
Johnny Oduya's had a couple of good diving plays. Even though he hasn't come up with a puck, he's delayed the pass from Dallas.
Here comes Seabrook. Trying to get it out. Oh, Hossa, what a point-blank attempt after the puck deflected off the side of the net. Hossa right outside the goal crease. Denied by Lettinen.
It was Brent Seabrook jumping up again. I think he was trying to bank it in off the side of the goalie. It came right out front. As you mentioned, a nice one-time attempt in front of the net by Hossa.
Kane gains the line, drives in, shooting. Tried to go high, stick side, but missed the net. And now the Stars, Robidas will fight off a check and feed Roussel. Saad took it off his stick, and back comes Kane. Patrick Kane stripped of it by Dillon at the blue line. Then Dillon. Long pass, good read by Leddy. Back come the Hawks. Here's a long shot. Missing the net from Versteeg. And now the Stars try to counterattack. Fiddler stripped by Chalmerson.
Real good stick just outside the blue line.
Kruger for Shaw. He's got a man coming with him. Shaw driving the net, shooting. Oh, a fine block by Robidas, who deflected it out of play. That's a nice job by one of the alternate captains for the Dallas Stars, Stefan Robidas. But a shift or two ago, a bank pass from Seabrook found Marian Hossa, point blank, and Lettinen beat him.
Time now for our Geico quote. It's from Patrick Kane on his 12-game point streak. It's nice to be on a streak like that and try to produce consistently. I think the biggest thing is just to try to go into every game with a clean slate and take it for what it is. But it helps playing with good players. The thing about Patrick Kane, he's seen a lot of different centermen so far this year. Whether it's been Brandon Peary, Michael Handzus lately, even on the left side, it's been Brandon Saad. Jimmy Hayes, when he was still with the team, had a couple of shots on the left side too, but he's done it with everyone.
Chris Versteeg chips it deep. Goligoski met by Peary. The Stars daily. Goligoski ahead for Whitney. Dropped it to the middle. Here's a quick shot blocked. As Eakin's attempt never got past Seabrook. Taken by Peary. Turned it over Whitney. Whitney tried to slip it in front. Picked off to Keith. He got it out.
The Blackhawks did that a couple times in the first period. Coming off the right boards, just trying to make that pass. You've got to look first. If there's bodies there, just got to chip it out and hope to chase it down.
Now a steal by the Stars. Horkoff, though, picked off by Keith. Stars put it back in. Here's Peverley, who's got their goal. He left something behind. And the Hawks on the counterattack. Sharp racing up the right side, takes a look in front. Now the pass never quite connected with Hossa, who was driving the middle.
And a good back check, too, by Eric Cole. I thought Sharp was going to try and go to Toews, but he saw Cole coming back hard at the last second.
Stars, what a play by Oduya to get his stick flat on the ice and break up a pass attempt. Could have been a 2-on-1 had that feed gotten through. Now the Hawks will regroup at center.
Johnny Oduya's had a few of those, and not just deflection. Sometimes they'll dive and take away a passing lane. They've got to change their mind. Very effective as a defenseman. You don't always have to be hammering guys. Just have to be picking up pucks, and that's what he's done.
Saad picked it off out of midair, steaming into the zone. A bouncing puck. Kane couldn't get rid of it. Here's Seabrook with time to let it go. He's hoping for a tip. Didn't get it from Handzus. And a rebound held in by Kane. Looks over towards Saad. Brandon Saad for Kane up the middle. He's too well covered, but hangs onto it. Kane walks back toward the middle, left it for Keith. Down low side, center, just missed Keith right in the slot area. And now a steal by Nichushkin. He moves into Seabrook, diving to the ice, and he broke up the centering attempt. Good play, Seabrook, and Crawford holds on.
Real good play because Seguin was open on that far left side earlier. That you mentioned Johnny Oduya. This is the second or third time he's done this in this period. Watch the poke check. It looks like it's going to be a 2-on-1. He comes back hard and just gets his stick in that passing lane. Breaks up the play, gets it going in the other direction. And that's the thing about these Blackhawk defensemen. So fast, quick sticks. And that's how they kill a lot of offensive plays.
The Stars get the draw, but Fiddler missed Gonchar. We're halfway through the second period. 1-0 in favor of the Stars. Well, but getting some help from Gonchar, and here comes Dallas. Roussel's shot never got through, bouncing loose in front. Now captured by Jordy Benn. Turns down low. Roussel. Helped by Fiddler. He slipped it out in front. Benn. Put it across. Gonchar back to Benn. Can't find a lane. Now here's the shot. Garbutt. Oh, good save. Crawford. Maybe his best of the game. Ryan Garbutt with a quick, hard, rising one-timer. And Crawford flashing the leather to keep the Hawks within one. It was a tough chance, but Crawford had the answer. And the Stars lead midway in regulation.
From your GMC professional grade saves, it's been a pretty strong night for Corey Crawford. Just one goal allowed on 14 shots. This from the first period. Good rebound control. Quick to cover. Good help from his defense. And a great play by Jamie Benn. 2 stops there in that last one. Cat light reflexes. Lightning quick glove. Good stops from number 50.
Each team has had only 3 shots on goal in the first 10 minutes of this middle frame. As for Steve, put it on the stick of Shaw. Andrew Shaw had his pass broken up by Jordy Benn. 4-man duel on the boards, and the Stars get some support there from Cole. Gonchar for Cole into the zone. This drop pass picked off by Brookbank. Now Rich Peverly. Taken away to Kane. Oh, wow. Yeah, well, the one referee looked right at it. The other guy was 60 feet away in the other zone. Brad Watson put his arm up and properly will whistle the play dead. But Gordon Dwyer seemed to be closest to that situation and looking at it, but his arm didn't go up.
Yeah, and it was the other guy almost 100 feet away. And here you'll see the trip. And you know what? In fairness to the referee, it was on this side. Maybe he was blocked out by a player, but you'll see the stick of Peverly right between the legs and just tripping up the left foot of Patrick Kane. So a great opportunity here. First power play on the evening for the Blackhawks.
For either team, really, that's the first penalty, and the Hawks on this road trip 2 out of 13 on the power play, and the Dallas PK has hit the skids. They've given up a goal in 5 straight games against opposing power plays. 5 of the last 13 have been converted against Dallas. And now they get ready, and then Taves wins the draw. Here's Kane with Shaw to the front of the net. Taves takes a look. Left it for Kane. Back door is Keith. Kane hangs on. Now put it to Keith. Couldn't find a lane. Keith's one-timer now is off a leg. Hacked loose in front. And the Stars able to get it and cleared.
Jonathan Taves trying to track that puck down. He didn't get all the way through it. He was just trying to pull it out of the heap. Unfortunately, it went right to a Dallas Stars defenseman who got it down the ice.
The pass from Keith was awry, and a clearing attempt by Letton is held in. Sharp sets it up. for Toews. Toews sandwich on the board, taken away by the Stars. Eakin, they might have a 2-on-1. Cody Eakin leads the rush, cutting and shooting. He's got a great shot, but he missed the net with that opportunity. And back comes Toews. Jonathan Toews looks to the middle. That pass comes back to him. Now they got a Stars player shaking up. Here's Schultz with a shot and a save, and now a bad result in behind the net. Stefan Robidas grabbing his right knee once he went down, could not get back up. And you can tell he is in agony as the Stars players all were signaling to the bench.
Yeah, you know, I thought it was the pass of Jonathan Toews that hit him, but I don't think that would cause that much pain. You know, unless it hit his ankle and he twisted on the way down. But this was a pass that gets blocked by Robidas, and it's a great block. Watch number 3 as he turns. You know, maybe he toe picks at the same time. I don't believe the puck would do that kind of damage. It was almost off the front of his shin pad, but he went down hard. And as you mentioned, Pat, he's in a lot of pain. He's in distress. You see, we've got a different angle. Maybe we can see exactly the pass. Oh, you know what? His ankle, his right ankle turned right to the right. And you know what? And look at it hit the boards afterwards. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't seriously sprain that or maybe even break his ankle. He's holding his head. And Pat, I know you know Robidas. He's tough as nails.
I'm a big fan of Stefan Robidas. The Blackhawks had him early in his career, and he has always been a very competitive defenseman.
Right
hard
there
to play against. Yeah, the puck got him down low, and that's kind of threw everything off balance, and it just looked like a very awkward and bad step that he took. And you can tell when a player's hurt like that, he knows it right away, and you know your heart goes out to him. He's a gamer, always gives you everything he has. For some reason, when he was with the Blackhawks, the legendary Robert Jesse Pulford just couldn't get his arms around him. He didn't like him. He didn't think he fit with what the Blackhawks were about. And he's gone on to get close to 1,000 games in the NHL. This guy's he's a warrior. He's a good, hard defenseman to play against, and a real good guy. You know, so you really hate to see this, and you can tell he knows something is terribly wrong.
I think it's broken, and I just looked at that replay again when we were all looking at it, and just the way his blade stuck in the ice, you know, and that's the thing about hockey. It's not like football where your cleat digs into the turf and you torque your ankle or your knee. Your skate normally kind of gives a little bit, but that caught the ice, and I wouldn't be surprised if he broke something in his leg.
All right, we're going to step aside for just a moment. The Stars have the lead here midway in the second.
Back here in Dallas, time to look at our ANA upcoming schedule. And the Blackhawks, after tomorrow night in Phoenix, they finally get to play back at the United Center, and it's against these same Dallas Stars. 7 o'clock start on Tuesday. Thursday, it's the Wild who come to the UC. All these games on Comcast Sportsnet.
All right, here's the draw. Taken by Seabrook on the Hawks power play. Long shot is off a leg. Still 45 for the Hawks, man advantage. Versteeg to Leddy. Seabrook. Ooh, just missed Hossa with a pass attempt. Now Saad came out with it. Hossa takes a look. Spins it back to Leddy. Leddy will go back to Hossa. Marian Hossa in behind. Saad. Back for Seabrook to Leddy. Now Seabrook put it behind Saad, and some Hawk passes that have been awry, have been costly on this power play. No chance to get the puck to the net. And the penalty now is going to be over. Both teams are at full strength. Hawks getting just one shot on their initial power play of the night.
Well, that kills you on the power play when the pass isn't perfect. I mean, the penalty killers are so good, and if that pass isn't where you want it, they're going to jump you, and that's exactly what Dallas did. They get it down the ice. And not a real good power play for the Blackhawks, but, you know, looking long-term now, still 6:22 to go in this period, plus the third period, with Stefan Robidas out, and he eats up a lot of minutes. Lindy Ruff's going to go with 5 defensemen back there, and you know, maybe an opportunity for the Blackhawks to maybe try and wear down the back end of Dallas.
Now it's the Taves line out there against the Sagan line. Kane taken away. Oh, shot in front from Nichushkin went wide after another Blackhawks turnover. Now a penalty coming up as Jamie Benn was taken down. And Nick Chalmerson's going to have a seat. So after the Hawks' first power play of the night really didn't get much done, the PKers are going to have to try to keep the team within one.
Yeah, an opportunity for them to respond. Tripping's the call on Nicholas Chalmerson. Very similar to the Peverley penalty. In behind his own net. Upends. I believe it was Ben on the play. Yeah, Ben maybe dressed it up a little bit, but the stick's certainly in front of the legs of Jamie Benn. He goes down, and Dallas on the power play.
Gonchar. Goligoski. We get Chase onto the front of the net. Here's Gonchar to Benn. He shoots one. Good save through a screen by Crawford. Rebound to Goligoski. Here's Gonchar's one-timer. Crawford soaks it up and gave nothing with a couple of green sweaters in his kitchen.
Real important not to allow the puck to come off his body, and as you mentioned, absorbed it very well. Dallas keeping this to the outside. They'll give them that shot, especially if there's not a screen. I'm surprised Chason didn't try and get in front of Crawford. Had plenty of opportunity to maybe take his eyes away, but he didn't.
And so now Taves got tossed, so Hossa will come in for the draw with Chason. Hossa able to pull it back. A ring around by Brookbank did not get out. Here's Gonchar. Goligoski. Put it across to Whitney. His long blast. Might have hit some traffic out in front. Jamie Benn put it over to the boards. Hossa chased it down. He's got Taves up with him. Hossa now crisscrossing a long shot. It is deflected up off the glass. A high bounce into the air. Nobody was sure where it had gone, but finally the Stars get it back. Chason chips and chases. Seabrook will be held in by Daly. Now Chason spinning to his backhand, chipped it out to Gonchar. Just under a minute for the Dallas power play. A long shot blocked Hanzus, but held in by Benn. Now Whitney in behind for Chason. And now a steal by Keith, and the Hawks will be able to clear and change.
Really good positioning by Michael Hanzus, and he's going to help this penalty killing unit an awful lot just with his savvy and just mirroring the defenseman who was walking the blue line, and an easy block for him.
Now Cole out of the corner. Ends it around to Jordy Benn. And now it's taken by the Stars. Benn goes across Daly, lets it go. He missed the net. Rebound bounce to the line. Did it get out? Yes, says linesman Mark Wheeler, and the whistle goes.
Well, become a Blackhawks fan ambassador driven by ChevyDriveChicago.com and win exclusive prizes by sharing Blackhawks news and information on your social networks. Visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com to sign up today.
To give a quick birthday shout out to a great Blackhawks fan who turned 79 years old today, and he watches every game. Jerry, I hope I get this name right, Ogigio, I believe, or Gigo. Ogiego, maybe something like that. It's spelled kind of differently. So, but Jerry, you know who you are. Happy birthday. Here's the play for the Stars. A quick shot. It's blocked by Seabrook. He had his pass picked off. Garbutt lets it go. Tip. Oh, the redirect wide by Roussel. Hawks penalty over. Both teams full strength. Garbutt, the shot. Blocked by a skidding Seabrook. And the Stars have something going after their power play expired. Here's Goligoski keeping it in. Long shot. It was off a Dallas stick and wide. Roussel taking away Seabrook. Got it to Kane. Here comes Taves. Or Sharp. Patrick Sharp pulls up. Here's a long shot, Leddy, and a save by Lepton through the screen. Rebound loose. And the Hawks have a couple of men down and slow to get up. Kane took a while to scrape himself up off the ice. He still isn't sure where he is.
He's kind of dazed. What a pass by Jonathan Toews. And that's why Patrick Sharp, I think, is stepping in. He's giving a rough going over to Trevor Daley, and I think it was Daley who put Kane down. It was Sharp who saw it. I didn't see it originally. I was watching the shot from the point. And boy, what a pass by Jonathan Toews on his knees. Watch when Toews goes down. One hand on his stick. He'll bump this puck across the front of the crease right there. And there's Kane goes down. That's Roussel standing next to him. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's a forearm shiver, actually more of a punch right to the jaw of Patrick Kane. And that's why he was dazed and confused down. So he'll set the first part of this power play out. Roussel goes to the penalty box, and the opportunity, well, actually, it's Daley getting the penalty. And unless my eyes are mistaken.
No, you're right. Daley got the penalty, and the guy who started the whole mess was Roussel, who we showed you, and he got away with it. All right, so 4 skaters aside. Coincidental minors are Sharp and Daley. Well, the Stars, Jamie Benn trying to chip it through the D, but a good check there by Oduya took him off the play. Hjalmarsson eludes a Seguin attempt. Here's Hjalmarsson getting in. His pass broken up, and Oduya getting back.
That was my mistake. I said that the Blackhawks were going to be on the power play. Obviously, Sharpie gets a penalty there too, so it is 4-on-4.
2.5 remaining in period 2. And so far, the league's leading offense. Saad with a shot that's blocked away by Lettinen, who has been perfect in the first 14 shots he's faced. It's very unusual for this Hawks offense to not only have no goals almost 40 minutes in, but only 14 shots up till now. Now there's a loose puck cleared around. And it's chased down by Peverley. Rich Peverley moves forward. Turns behind. Seabrook gave him some problems. And was able to take it away, but Jordy Ben kept it in. Now it's picked up Goligoski with a wrist shot. Hoping for a tip, but went wide. The redirect by Peverley. And this one is held in, they say. Horkoff is hit hard by Seabrook with a good shoulder. And the Hawks get it out. 80 seconds remaining in the second period. Eakin put it ahead. Chiasson chasing down. Now tried to center. Good stick by Keith. And the Hawks then failed to connect on a pass. Chiasson the shot. Good block. Seabrook. Rebound. Clear to the boards. Held in by the Stars. Dylan DeGonchar. Centered one. Here's the shot. Hit some traffic out in front. And the coincidentals over. Both teams back at full strength.
Seabrook and Keith real tired. They've been stuck out there a while.
Chiasson put it back. Dylan's long one. Hit a leg going wide. Whitney in front. Eakin. That puck was rolling as he golfed it up off the glass. And a great shift here underway for the Stars. Gonchar's long one. And a save. Rebound. Crawford got it to Sharp, who's checked. The Hawks fail to clear. Whitney lost it to Sharp. This one does get out. But that same D duo has to stay on the ice. Keith and Seabrook. An offside for the Stars as Seguin was in early. And the Hawks catch a break with 2 exhausted defensemen who were not going to be able to change otherwise.
Yeah, that's a big mistake by Seguin. I mean, he doesn't have to try to force the issue there and try to make it close. He just should stay on side. They still had 20 seconds. As you mentioned, 2 dead tired defensemen. I'll tell you, Dallas did a great job of retrieving pucks there. And yes, you've got tired defensemen, and you don't make good decisions when you're tired, but they did an excellent job of getting the loose pucks.
Jamie Benn with a dozen left. Pass taken away. Oduya to Toews. Hjalmarsson will run out of time as it's dumped in. And the Blackhawks in the second period credited with 6 shots on goal. Their total is 15. The Stars had just 5 shots. Their total is 16. So the Chicago offense, which came in leading the National Hockey League, thwarted so far by Kari Lehtonen, who has been perfect in the first 40 minutes. The only goal coming late in the first period off a Blackhawks turnover. Rich Peverley able to dent the net for the only lamplighter so far tonight. There have not been a huge number of scoring chances, but a pretty good number of high-grade opportunities, and Lehtonen and Crawford have had quite a goaltending battle through the first 40 minutes. And the Hawks down 1 at the end of 2.
Blackhawks hockey on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Do you believe in the power of possibility? The Illinois Lottery. Anything's possible. And by Toyota. Elevate your style with the 2014 Toyota Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
Welcome back to Big D, where the Stars take a 1-goal lead into period 3. Assistant coach Jamie Compon has a headset on for us. Jamie, kind of weird to not only have no goals, but just 15 shots in the first 40 minutes. From your perspective, what do you want to see more of here in the third?
Well, we have to be more direct with our play. The big thing is that they're such a fast team, and they're over us. They're covering over us. We've got to have quick ups and quick outs and get through that neutral zone, get in the offensive zone. That's where we do our best work. The less time we go D to D, and the more we get up the ice quickly, the better chance we have in the offensive zone.
Jamie, you kind of touched on it. Dallas forwards do a real good job coming back, supporting, but sometimes they over-pursue. Is there any way you can try to exploit that?
Well, you know, their backside pressure is so hard, and they come right to the puck. Their D give that dot to board ice up, and their forward comes right down to the puck. So the best play is to shoot on the rush and forecheck off the shot. That's the biggest thing for us. We're going to get more pucks than that. We're passing up golden opportunities in the slot and looking for one more play. Well, there's no more one more play. We got to get it to the net.
Jane, you know they lost a D-man who's a big minute guy. Is 20 minutes enough time for a chip and chase type of game where you try to wear down their D?
We talked about that since the opening period, about just chipping support, chip support, and get in, get after them, and move our feet. And that's the biggest thing. So we got 20 minutes, and we'll see what happens.
All right, appreciate a couple minutes. Thanks, Jamie.
Thank you.
Well, the Hawks, as was the case in Calgary the other night, down going into the third, and we're underway in period 3.
And this third period of Blackhawks hockey is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
Now the race, Garbutt chasing in. Crawford came out to poke, check it away. And Keith put it ahead to Taves. Taken back by Daly, and Fiddler failed to clear. Hossa with a steal. He drives the net. Good stick by Fiddler. Able to knock it away as Hossa was ready to make something happen.
This fourth line's been very impressive for the Dallas Stars, and I call them a fourth line, but they've got speed. Mentioned they had 7 points in that game against Anaheim, their last win here, and it was good recovery by Fiddler.
Good work here by Sagan, jamming up a Hawks breakout attempt. That was a steal by Nichushkin. They'll have to regroup at center. Charge long pass, jumped away from Nichushkin. The race is on. He beat Oduya there. Nichushkin with a wraparound came right to the blue paint, then jammed loose. And Hanzus has helped to clear it out. Here comes Oduya.
I like the way that Nichushkin plays. Just a rookie, just drafted in 2013. He protects the puck well, and he's got a big body. Moves pretty well for a big man.
Oduya went just wide. Held in Hjalmarsson. Hjalmarsson got pinched to the end boards. And Dillon took it away and cleared it the other way. Will it go far enough for icing? No. Hjalmarsson has to play it. Now the Stars, Peverley. Lifted in. Peary there to Shaw. Andrew Shaw A little chip and chase. Jordy then gets back for the Stars. He got some back pressure and it's taken away. Bollig working the corner. And then Bollig got taken down. Rejoins the party and Bollig got it. Kruger hit hard by Ben. Chason Fredalis with a hoister to get it out.
It's a smart, safe play by Chason. They're under some pressure. He comes down deep. He doesn't try to pass it to anybody. He's probably going to get turned over. And he just gets it delayed right at center ice.
Loose puck. Kruger trying to slip it in front. Oh, it's directed at the Dallas end, I think, by a Stars player. Lettinen made the stop. O'Dulia's long one. Lettinen stopped it. Rebound. Smith kicked it loose. Kruger's in deep. Marcus Kruger taken away by Eakin. Then Kruger got it back. Kruger for Bollig, but it never got to him. And the Stars able to get it out.
Good fourth line pressure by the Blackhawks. Ben Smith with an opportunity. Almost a redirection in front.
They work in behind, and the Stars, Dillon, rolled it up the boards of Ray Whitney, and he gets it out. Chason back to Whitney. Gets the line, dropped it, missed Chason with a pass. And the Hawks look to start back. Taves able to fight his way into the zone. A bouncing puck rolling to Kari Lettinen. And in his 398th career game, Lettinen takes a whistle. I might as well start trying to get the curse out already. He's going for his 24th career shutout. He has shut out the Blackhawks through 43 and a half minutes.
He's had some help. And even on that last rush by Jonathan Taves, I mean, he had 4 Dallas Stars all over him. The 2 defensemen were fronting him, and 2 forwards coming back with the back pressure. So they have done a good job of not quitting on any plays.
Now Garbutt for Dallas. Goligoski. Long feed. Garbutt kicks to the stick. Gets in there. Centered one. That's broken up to Daly. Lifted. Bouncing toward the goal. It was actually going to go wide, but Crawford gloves it anyway.
Yeah, well, we have an opportunity. A Blackhawks shout out to Samantha Caravet, who's celebrating her 21st birthday tonight. She's an Elk Grove Village resident, and she's also a junior pre-med student at the University of Illinois in Champaign. Happy birthday, Samantha.
The draw, won by Hunzers. Saad to Kane. Patrick Kane steps in. That's broken up by Dillon, and now Gonchar. Here's it back the other way. No icing here. Hjalmarsson lifted back to the neutral area. Stars Nichushkin checked by Kane, and Hjalmarsson scooped it to the neutral area. Goligoski hold it to center. Heverly put it deep. Funny bounce. Oh boy, a weird how Crawford went out to play that, but when he realized it was up on the glass, he started to come back to his net. That barely missed hitting him and going awkwardly into the goal. Here's a chip by Leddy trying to chase it down. He got there, dropped it in front, picked off though to Peverly. He couldn't get it out. Goligoski to Daly. And then the turnover by Horcoff. Taken by Peary. Into the corner, Shaw. Now Versteeg's got it, dropped it back to Leddy. Stars though able to clear their end.
An original pass, I think it was intended for Brookbank, who probably could have shot it because he's a right shot. It was picked up by Nick Leddy.
Horcoff's weak wrister went off a leg. And now here's Nick Leddy. Brookbank pounds it in there. Here's a near steal by Smith. Jordy Ben managed to tie up his stick, though. And Hjalmarsson kept it in. Here's Eakin. Throwing it up the middle, picked off Kruger, but he couldn't get it to the goal. Taken by Hjalmarsson. Ben is checked. Smith works against Eakin. Ben Smith came out of the corner, fights in front to Hjalmarsson. Oh, the puck was rolling. He shot it up off the netting. They play out. That should have been a whistle. But here, their play still alive. Now here's Bollig. Dropped it to Hjalmarsson. Across for Oduya. A long wrister. Never got through. Chason cleared the Dallas end.
Another real strong fourth line shift by Smith, Kruger, and Bollig. Ben Smith, 2 excellent shifts in a row.
Fiddler gets in there. His shot partially blocked. Still a Crawford stick save was needed. Vern Fiddler had his pass taken away by Sharp.
Goligoski really closed that gap quickly. I thought it might turn into something that was sharp.
Bouncing bucket, but they score! A wrist shot by Duncan Keith was redirected. Might have been Sharp out in front. The Hawks have tied the game.
Dallas fails to clear the puck, and a great keep-in by Duncan Keith. And it's the simple plays that are effective plays. Just get it on the net. Watch, Dallas has control of it. They try to go up the boards with it. That's Daly, the quick keep-in. And a great stick by Patrick Sharp. After he's in the corner, he gets right to the front of the net. The shot was probably going wide. Redirects it on the backhand. And it goes by Layden. And Patrick Sharp, who had 4 assists the last time he was in this building, gets a goal, his 10th of the year.
And that's 7 in the last 12 games for a Blackhawk sniper. And now the crowd, and the Hawk fans in the crowd coming to life. There's the Kane dump. Hanzus is going to get there. Tried to center, deflected out in front. Jamie Benn got it out.
Well, that goal, I think, really predicated by that strong fourth line shift. They got some momentum going, the second strong shift in a row. And Sharpie does the damage on a smart jump in by Duncan Keith.
And inside. Some traffic trouble at center. Here comes for Steve. Stars have 4 back. There's the chip and chase. Now Peary working the boards. Orkov spun him around. And Cole cleared to center. Orkov tapped it in. Seabrook. Cleared it ahead. Here comes Peary. And then Peary checked by Trevor Daly. Now Versteeg. That's it for Peary, but it jumped back to Cole. Shaw for Chicago finds Leddy. Nick Leddy able to step away from a check, then let it go, and a stick save by Lettinen. Rebound to Eakin, he lost it. Bollig grabbed in behind by Daly. And then Bollig ripped it loose, and here's Smith for Bollig. Quick shot. Oh, that hit his own man Kruger, who was falling in front of the net. And the Hawks get it back in for a change. Here's Gonchar. Getting close to the halfway point of the third period. Gonchar flipped one from center that Crawford plays to Hjalmarsson. Sharp with a bouncer. Dillon in his way. Now Taves. They'll ring it around, hoping for Sharp. Hosa's there too. They both missed it. And Crawford coming well out of the net to play it around the boards. Roussel kept it into Garbutt. Keith with a good stick prevented a shot. Garbutt tries now, and a save by Crawford. It's loose. A whack from Roussel, didn't get through. And Toews battles his way out. Here comes Hossa. Marian Hossa, strike one, and Garvin got his elbow up on Hossa with a jolt.
And again, 4 Dallas Stars just surrounding Hossa. Whenever anyone gets it, especially a skilled player over the blue line, the green sweaters are on him like flies.
Loose puck for Kane, right to the goal, the backhand, and a save by Letnin. Great play along the boards to give Patrick Kane a one-on-one with Kari Letnin. And the goalie had an edge in that confrontation, but he was beaten earlier on a redirect by Sharpie to tie it.
Time now for our Kia drive to the net. It involves that man, Patrick Sharp. Earlier in this third period, down 1-0. It was a good job putting pressure on the puck and getting right to the front of the net. Keith with a shot, the redirection for Patrick Sharp. That's his team-high 4th shot in this hockey game. And it ties it up for the Blackhawks.
Tyler Seguin for Dallas. Flipped it forward. Chalmerson nearly turned it up, and then what a save by Crawford! Chalmerson thought he had his D partner open. He was not. Jamie Benn with a takeaway and a point blanker that Crawford snared.
Boy, that might be the 4th blatant turnover by the Blackhawks, and he was kind of screened out on the play. Didn't see Jamie Benn coming, and the quick pass gets picked off by Benn. Boy, what a stop. It's not a clean save, but he gets it with that catching arm, his left arm. 20 saves on the night, and Corey Crawford, after that game off in Calgary, has been rock solid.
Now Smith bounced it ahead. Jamie Benn cleared to center. Here comes Seguin. Tyler Seguin weaves to the middle. Tried a shot that was blocked to Jamie Benn. Seguin down low, threw it out in front, picked off to Smith. Down at Juskin, works back up the middle. The puck escapes him, rolling to Crawford, and he'll take a whistle. Then Chalmerson gave Juskin a little bit of a jolt as he gave Crawford a snow shower.
They could mention the Juskin's size. There you see the snow shower. Chalmerson had something to say about it. A little tap in the back. Juskin was Rookie of the Year last year in the KHL, which is a 17-year-old. Pretty impressive stuff. 10th overall pick by Dallas.
Seabrook put on the stick of Toews. Check, but he held on to it. Toews dropped it to Keith. He tried a shot. It's into the glove of Letnin. Just over 8 minutes remaining in regulation time. Heverly for Dallas. Sharp for Chicago have the scores.
It's time now for our KFC fan cam.
Well, we'll grow into it.
That's a toque. A big toque.
Aaron Ray Whitney chips it ahead for Chason. Now Eakin dropped it back, jumped away from Jordy Benn, I should say, and now the Hawks. Hanzus gets in. Dropped it. Brookbank shot it. It went off a leg to Saad. And inside, dropped it to Patrick Kane. He tried a shot that was deflected up off the netting and a whistle.
Yeah, the defense continue to do a good job blocking shots. First it was Dylan, and that last time it was Jordy Benn just getting his stick in the way of Patrick Kane. It was in Danger of having that 12-game point scoring streak ruined tonight. Still has 7 minutes and 40 seconds to go.
Right from the draw, shot on net, and Lettinen was alert. They're trying to change because they got the Seguin line out there. And a good blocker save by Crawford.
What a shot by Benn. I mean, he snapped that real quick in full stride. Corey just reacted to the last second.
Here's Jamie Benn with a shot kicked away. Crawford wants to have the Taves line out there. Now here's a centering pass picked off Crawford. He's able to cover it up. But Lindy Ruff with the last change as the home coach. As soon as he saw the Peary line came over the boards, he sent out the Seguin group, and the Hawks did not like that matchup.
Yeah, after that original save, Blackhawks weren't able to get it out. Seguin to the front. Not a lot of room there for Jamie Benn. See them collapsing. 4 white jerseys, basically 5 white jerseys right in that crease. Taking care of business, Joel Quenneville. Boy, what a confident bench and a confident team they are right now. Mentioned earlier in the broadcast, 3 of the last 4 games they've either been tied or trailing going into the 3rd period. Tonight, the same situation, down a goal, and they've come to tie it up.
And really, you also have to compliment the Blackhawks bench for their alertness. There have been a lot of on-the-fly changes tonight. It's not been that typical this year for Joel Quenneville, but there have been some scenarios this evening as the game has gone along where the road coach has not liked the matchup. Here's Smith cutting in. It's kicked toward the net. Bowling then went down, picked up by Kruger. Did not get it out to the middle. And a 4-man battle on the boards. Brookbank, a long flip shot into the glove of Lettinen. And a good job by Marcus Kruger to sort of give Lettinen trouble as he was reaching with his glove. But Kruger got a stick in the neighborhood.
Yeah, why not? And then watch the shot from Sheldon Brookbank. Good keep in here. Just get it on net, and 16 heading to the net. And Lettinen did a good job to come out. Then grabs his head like he got slashed. He wasn't trying to draw a penalty.
But again, I just think the Blackhawks bench, they've not even been close to too many men on the ice penalty. And with all the in-game changing that they've been asked to do tonight, to compliment their alertness and readiness to know who's on and who's off and when to go.
Oh, you're right. And you know, that's just all about communication. And guys, as soon as they hear Coach Joel call out the line, it's up to the guys to let each other know who's got who and who's going.
Here comes Trevor Daley with a little skating room. He lost it as he got to the line, resulting in an offside whistle.
Duncan Keith assisting on that Patrick Sharp goal. And we've talked about Duncan Keith, and I know you and Eddie have, Pat, the last little while. He's been so good. I just like what he's doing defensively, too. You know, Keith is just one of those guys I don't think he gets enough praise for his defensive work. And he's not a big body checker, but he's just great at breaking up plays, keeping his gap really tight, close.
That's right, with that helper as Keith picks up the puck here. He now extends the scoring streak to 6 straight games. Got 7 assists over the last 6 in a row. One of the top assist men in the league, but here's Fiddler taking it away. Seabrook with a good cut across. Vern Fiddler tried to slip it in front. And Crawford able to locate is Roussel. And he's been a guy that has drawn some attention from the Blackhawks players several times tonight, taking a couple of runs at Patrick Kane. One of them clearly should have been a penalty with a hit to the head. The officials never saw it. We're down to 6 minutes remaining in regulation, tied at 1.
High school football all comes down to this. Watch CSN tomorrow starting at 10 a.m. for the IHSA Football Championship games for classes 5A through 8A. 8 teams are on the line. Watch who takes it all tomorrow on Comcast Sportsnet. Check csnchicago.com for listings.
And now Smith and Benn for the draw, which Benn wins, and a shot by Seguin went off a leg. Oleg put it back the other way. Dillon. Really helped by Nichushkin, and the puck cleared to center for Jamie Benn. Spins as he got to the line. That's onside. Benn to the corner. Seguin. Hjalmarsson with him. Seguin put it back to the line. Here's a long shot. Dillon. The redirect never got all the way to the net. Nichushkin threw it to the near corner, and Hjalmarsson there for Smith. He was unable to pick up a bouncer. Hjalmarsson follows up. Put it to O'Duyan. Hawks want to make some changes as they play on. This one is dumped in, and the change will be completed. 5 minutes remaining in regulation. Beverly dumped it. Seabrook challenged by Cole. It went off a skate and up off the netting, out of play.
Vienna Beef is proud to sponsor the Chicago Blackhawks Charities annual toy drive this holiday season. Blackhawk fans can donate unused and unwrapped toys at the Blackhawk games on December 6th, 8th, and 11th. For more information, visit ChicagoBlackhawks.com.
And now the Stars will dump it. Cole and Seabrook work the corner. It's picked up by Saad. And then Saad across for Patrick Kane. Extra move of the line results in an offside whistle.
Now, typically you want to make the blue line before you make that little move. And Patrick Kane was feeling some pressure at the dipsy-do, and while he was doing that, Saad went offside. Richard Sharp had 4 assists here last time Patty played. Last 2 games against Dallas, he has 6 assists, and now, well, this will be the 3rd game. Add a goal to that tally.
It's offside of the Chicago blue line. The only goal the Stars scored tonight came on a sort of a misplay by Corey Crawford, who came out to play the puck, and I think was a little leery of touching it in the restricted area, so sort of got caught behind the net. The Stars were able to steal it, put it out in front to Peverley, who scored into a gaping goal. But Crawford, I mean, you could say easily there have been at least a half a dozen grade A stops that he's been able to come up with, including facing a Dallas penalty shot early in the second period when the Hawks were already down 1.
That's right.
Here comes Hossa moving in. His shot is smothered to Roussel. Hawks got a little fortunate on that penalty shot with Chason, who was able to put the puck past the goalie, but it hit the goalpost.
I'd like to know what the record for consecutive denials of penalty shots is. I believe, and I'm just right at the top of my head, I think he's 9 for his last 9. He's perfect in his career. He's faced 9 penalty shots. I think he's perfect on each and every one. Maybe Dave Rossi can change that, check that for us, but that's pretty impressive in itself.
Eakin for Whitney, driving wide, tees it up, and a shot right on into the glove of Crawford. Take a look at the Miller moment that we promised you earlier in the game, and we just referenced the penalty shot with the Hawks down a goal. Now it's Chason, who was pulled down by Keith Van Seabrook. Ruled to have been a breakaway chance. They give him a penalty shot, and he blew it by to the 6th side, but Drew iron and came that close to doubling the lead, but it didn't happen for Dallas. Smith and Benn here. And the draw back to Jordy Benn, whose long shot is tipped. Again up too high and out of play.
Real good block by Marcus Kruger. He and Smith change on this faceoff in the right faceoff circle because Ben Smith's on his backhand, going to do a better job of pulling it back. Marcus Kruger's job now is to get out to that left defenseman. He did, and kind of lunged on that block.
But Jamie Benn has won these last 2 get-togethers with Smith. And Benn able to pull that one back so the Hawks clear their zone. Battle on the board. Bowling cleared it out of there. 3 minutes remaining in period 3. Now Jamie Benn scooped it forward. Oduya got in the way. And the Stars, Dillon with Jordy Benn clearing to center. By the way, the Stars gave us word on the injury to Stefan Robidas. They said fractured leg. So, tough to hear that. Very competitive defenseman and a real good guy. Hate to have to pass that news along, but that's what happened in a situation late in the second period when it almost looked as if he might have stepped on the puck and took a real bad step, and the result is a fractured leg for Stefan Robidas.
Yeah, and that's a long recovery. It's at least 3, maybe 4 months. I guess the only bonus for Lindy Ruff and his team is there is an Olympic break. They basically take off 3 weeks, so that'll give him a little extra time to convalesce and hopefully try to get back in for the remainder of the end of the season. But I've been impressed with the Dallas defense. I mentioned earlier in the telecast they're not overly mobile. They've done a real good job shutting down the highest scoring team in the NHL, and they're down to 5 guys.
Here's a shot and a save by Crawford off a face-off in the Hawk zone, and Garbutt has the work in, but he's able to take it away to Sharp. Osa flipped along with it, Lettinen handled. Then Daly cleared it. Here's Seabrook. You get down to 100 seconds remaining in regulation time. Wants change on that dump in. Whitney checked as he got in. Almerson ahead to Versteeg. Look out, the Dallas bench. That jumped up and out of play.
The ice getting just a little bit choppy here later in the third period. Versteeg tried to pick that up on his backhand, just kind of hopped over. Had a chance to talk to Chris Versteeg just as we were getting on the bus pad, and he just is amazed by the confidence of his team. And yes, he was with them back in 2010 when they won the Stanley Cup. But he said that there's just this feeling on the bench. They know they're going to win, even when they're down by a goal or a couple like they were in Calgary their last game out. So it's a real good feeling.
Here's a chip and chase from Versteeg. Bounce loose. Back out. Now Dillon for Dallas. Banks it to center ice. Versteeg gets back in there. Tried to center one. Here's Kane right to the goal. Stick handed shooting and a save by Lettinen. Patrick Kane was in so tight. He really didn't have many options, just tried to muscle it home.
You know, you're right, Pat. He didn't have a lot of options. He tried to get Lettinen to overplay it, maybe lift his leg, and Lettinen just stayed real patient. Watch him. It's a big goalie at 6'4". He lays down the leg, but he doesn't budge. He realizes that Kane can't really go anywhere with it, and he's not about to come off that post. I was going to say Patrick Kane getting double shifted here. He's taking the spot of Keary on the third line, and he had that paddle down too, and that really took away the bottom of the net. 4 shots for Patrick Kane tonight.
Well, the Stars, Peverley. Back goes Seabrook. And Smith checked at center. Back in Cole. Fights for a Seabrook hit. And Brent Seabrook able to retrieve the loose puck. And clear it into Dallas ice. The race is on for Ising, and Smith is hustling, so no whistle. Ben Smith had it taken away by Horcoff. Now the Stars get it out. 20 seconds remain. Let's get it in there for a change. Daly will send it deep. Oduya checked by Garbutt. Dug out Roussel. Hjalmarsson stepped into him. And the clock winds down, and the third period has come to an end. So each team gets one guaranteed point in the standings, and there will be one more available in either overtime or a shootout. And that'll happen when we come back. Welcome back to Dallas. Take a look at how we got to this overtime situation. Talk about the only Dallas goal, really kind of a misplay by Corey Crawford, and the persistence of Horkoff, Jan Belouse-Peverley with a fairly open goal. Then in a 1-0 game, a penalty shot awarded to Alex Chiasson, who moved in with a lot of speed and hit the goalpost. And it stayed 1-0 Dallas until late in the third. A Dallas turnover and a redirect from Patrick Sharp off a Keith Rich shot. So Sharp's 10th of the year, enabling his team to get this game to extra time. And just one power play for each side so far tonight.
I guess the numbers there that really jump out at you. The block shots by the Dallas Stars, 23 over the first 60 minutes. They also lead in the scoring chances department. That doesn't happen real often against the Blackhawks. 14-11 in favor of Dallas.
Lots of firepower out there now. Jamie Benn and Tyler Seguin against Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane as the forward matchup, and overtime is underway. Toews wants to leave it for Kane, putting it to Hjalmarsson. It's keeping puck possession here, not in a huge hurry to try to make anything happen. A long pass is accepted by Toews. Jonathan Toews dropped it back to Hjalmarsson. Looks for Kane, spins to his forehand, takes a look, now lets it go. Oh, a tiny piece by the glove of Lehtinen.
And he fought it off. He was deep in his crease. He went down to the butterfly and just stuck up that right arm. Maybe caught him between the elbow and the shoulder.
All right, here comes Seabrook. Keith follows up. Circle back now. Hossa and Sharp is the Hawks forward. Chiasson and Eakin for Dallas. Marian Hossa crisscrossing into the zone. Two Stars come to him. He got help from Seabrook, who was poke checked right away. Eakin the other way. And what a back pressure steal by Hossa.
It was, because we're going to be a 3-on-2.
Steal by Keith. Whipped on a shot attempt. Got it to Hossa. He looks back to Keith. Now to Brookbank. Goes down low. He wanted Hossa but missed him with a pass. And the Hawks need to complete a change as the Stars regroup.
Yeah, Hossa was getting tired. He just wanted to stay in front of the net. Sheldon Brookbank thought he might be able to chase a puck down, but I don't think Hossa had enough gas in the tank.
Gonchar. Now with a centering attempt that came all the way through. Rich Peverley works back to center. Whitney. Now to Peverley. Moves to his backhand. Leddy stayed with him nicely. Peverley, who has the Dallas goal, dropped it to Daly. Now Whitney taking a look. Peverley, a long flip shot way up high. Brookbank for Versteeg. He's able to find Leddy.
Corey lost his stick. Now he's got an opportunity to go back and get it. Fresh skaters on the ice too.
Hjalmarsson got it to the stick of Shaw. Andrew Shaw steps into the Dallas zone, crisscrossing. Shaw brings it around the board. Garbage for the Stars. Lost it. Here's Kane. Patrick Kane. Now sweeps it to Brent Seabrook, who walks in. Seabrook to the backhand, a mishandle. And the Stars, Garbett tried to clear. That went up high off the netting, and the whistle with 100 seconds left.
Thought Brent Seabrook had a real good chance to shoot. He decided to walk it in a little closer, maybe find something in the middle. always a good idea to shoot. You know, look at the lane he's got now, and then it really shuts down quickly. Earlier, Patrick Kane with an opportunity. They back off him, so he takes the shot, and there actually got it with his mitt. He fought it off. I thought he got it with his upper arm. It was certainly the leather. Kerry Leighton quick with the hands. Gets it to go off his glove and up over the net.
The Stars daily. And now lead him forward, Jamie Benn. Looks for Seguin. He could not kick to the stick. Toews the other way. Jonathan Toews. Oh, knocked away to Sharp. Rick Sharp working to the middle. Wide a shot that hit traffic in front. Toews for Oduya. His shot blocked. Well, that was a point-blank chance. Good block by the Stars. Now a lead pass finds Daly, but he couldn't get the puck under control. And the Hawks able to knock it away. We go to the final minute now of overtime.
It's twice now Daly's mishandled the puck just outside the blue line. He would have put himself offside and he touched it again. And down the other end, Patrick Sharp. That's a great play, cycling the puck and shooting in stride, getting one on net.
Side. Stripped by Nichushkin at center. Eakin gets back in offside at the Hawks line.
Good back pressure by Marian Hossa. He'd realized that Brandon Saad had fallen down. Watch number 20 lose his balance. And 81 to the rescue. You know, if you don't put pressure on that puck carrier, it's a lot easier to make the blue line. That play doesn't go offside.
Half a minute remaining now. Hossa able to work his way through the middle, put it to Keith up on the rush. He tried a shot, but was well wide. Seabrook kept it into Hossa. Here it comes. Good block, Eakin. Now Jordy Ben. A long pass for Chason, missed him. The race is on, and icing is waved off. Good hustle by Chason. Now it's taken by Dillon. 3 seconds. Here's Goligoski, long shot. Crawford the save rebound. Oh, and he made another save. Corey Crawford in the final 3 seconds comes up with 2 huge saves, and you can see that Seabrook has had about enough of Dillon.
A couple of BC boys battling at it. Yeah, you know, there's only about 4 seconds left here. They get 2 great chances. The original shot and that follow-up attempt by Chason. Watch the backhand off his shoulder. Oh, the stick of Seabrook. And he didn't like that little cross-check from Dillon. And that's why they had words at the end of the overtime.
So a shootout will decide the outcome tonight. Bring it back to Dallas right after this.
Welcome back to Dallas. It's 1-1 Stars Blackhawks. It's after overtime. We're in the shootout, and this was some of the chances in overtime. Patrick Kane with a high riser. He's got a great snapshot. Lettinen gets just a piece of it. He sees some room. He takes the real estate and lets go a wicked shot. And then right at the end of the overtime, a couple of good chances. Chason with the rebound attempt gets deflected by Brent Seabrook. And Corey Crawford, 28 saves on 29 shots tonight. He is 3-2 this year in the shootout. 3 wins, 2 losses.
Well, a couple of good chances in the game tonight for Patrick Kane, and including the one you just showed us in overtime. But now that 12-game point streak has come to an end. He is held off the score sheet tonight for the first time in 13 matches. So, unfortunately, for him, the scoring streak comes to an end. But for the legendary Eddie Olczyk and Phil Kessel, they still own the longest scoring streak for an American-born player at 18 straight games. So the shootout about ready to get underway. And Lindy Ruff, as the home coach, has elected to shoot first. So the captain, Jamie Benn, will be first up for the Stars. Crawford says he's ready. Ben says he's ready. Here we go with the first shooter. And he's going to go way wide. Weaving every which way, Ben. Slowly to the middle. Now Wade's got him down. Couldn't lift it. Corey Crawford makes the save.
Boy, Crawford just stayed with him every inch of the way. And as you mentioned, serpentining from the time he picked up the puck at center ice. Just trying to get Corey to lose his net. There's no way. He just mirrors that puck perfectly, makes himself big, and makes the big stop.
Jonathan Toews first up for Quenneville. Toews quickly up the middle, shooting. Tried to go 5-hole, it wasn't there.
That's his spot. Speed down the middle, he tries to go through the wickets. Maybe a little farther to his left or right than he wanted it to go. Good save by Letman.
Tyler Seguin. Well, comes in, starting to slow down. He weaves as well. Wade shoots. Crawford picked it off. Made it look easy.
Well, he's had 2 or 3 of those glove saves tonight. That you're right. He's just waiting for that puck to come into his mitt. Look at how far out he is. Now he starts backing up, puts the brakes on, and yeah, that's a routine save.
By Patrick Sharp, who scored the Hawks goal tonight on a redirect. Now he's in on Letman. Sharp, stick handling, he scores! Patrick Sharp pulled it back to the forehand and went by the glove side.
Boy, it looked like he had Stickum on his stick, because watch how he handles this puck. Fakes forehand, goes to the backhand, and just the quick release when he gets it back on that forehand. A quick power move and right over the arm, the glove.
All right, Rich Peverley's got a score here to keep the Stars alive. Peverley on Crawford. He scores! Rich Peverley, a big play, beats Crawford to the glove. And the shootout is even.
Real good shot by Peverley. Just below the glove of Corey Crawford. Not a lot of room there. Just put it inside that left post as we look at it.
All right, Patrick Kane, the third Blackhawks shooter. Now he's got the game on his stick. Kane can win it for the Hawks. And a save by Letman. Seemed like he didn't get a lot on that.
Yeah.
Kind of jumped on him at the end.
He didn't get good wood on it. Let's see if the puck does jump up. You know, he's just trying to guide it between the legs of Leighton, who closed him quickly. Did a good job making sure he didn't slide into his net with the puck.
All right, we go to extra innings in the shootout. Chason is next up for the Stars. Moving slowly to the backhand. Crawford able to make the save.
Love how he uses the paddle. Now watch him turn this paddle, because he realizes that Chason actually has him. He's got him here. Turns that paddle and gets it with the outside of the paddle. Makes the stop with the stick.
Right now, Brandon Peary has a chance to be a hero. Peary up the middle, stick handles, and he whiffed. So we'll go to the top of the 5th from the shootout.
Yeah, maybe rushed it just a little bit, but didn't get all the puck. Tried to make a quick move and has it go under his heel.
All right, Sean Horkoff. Next up for Lindy Ruff. Horkoff in on Crawford. Crawford makes the save.
Tried to beat him blocker side. Corey had it read the whole way. Watch that right blocker. Beautiful save.
And now in the bottom of the 5th, Marian Hossa is next up for Quenneville. Hossa steps wide, now back to the middle, stick handles, and a save by Letman.
Just his second shootout attempt this year. And Letman, boy, there's not a lot there. 6 feet 4 inches. He's a big goalie, covers a lot of the net.
All right, here's Whitney. Has had only one previous shootout attempt this year. Whitney tried to go 5-hole, nothing there from Crawford.
Again, patience from Crawford. Whitney just trying to wait him out, get that hole to open up. It doesn't. He closes it real quickly. Another big stop by Corey Crawford.
Now Brandon Saad He moves in on Lettinen. Saad, stick handling, waits, and a save by Lettinen.
He had him, but he didn't because Lettinen's leg's so long. He gets him to bite. He just goes into the splits and makes that stop.
All right, now to the top of the 7th. Here's Cody Eakin. He's going to come in with speed. Now slows up. Crawford with the right pad.
Boy, these goalies have been fantastic tonight through regulation, overtime, and now here in the shootout. That's just a real good read. You know, Corey knows where that's going before it comes off his stick.
All right, here's Chris Versteeg. Versteeg in on Lettinen. And a save by Lettinen.
Corey Crawford's had to come to the bench to get on their stick. Lettinen, I'm going to tell you what, he's been reading these shooters too. Not a lot of movement there. Good positioning, just waiting for the shot.
Ryan Garbutt will be the 8th shooter for the Dallas Stars. Crawford has a new cue, and he's ready to face Garbutt. Garbutt coming in with speed to the forehand, and a shot stopped by Crawford.
Oh, that's really good agility by Corey Crawford. He was getting ready for the poke check. Watch him slide the stick all the way down to the end. Right there, he's getting ready for the poke check, and he makes that stop.
All right, now Michael Handzus in the bottom of the 8th for Chicago. Handzus coming in quickly. Waits, shoots. Might have got the goal post.
Yeah.
Looked as if he beat Lettinen and drew iron.
He did. That was a nice move. Quick elevation. Might be the crossbar. Watch here. Gets him to bite on the fake. And then right off that crossbar. Maybe a piece of the stick of Lettinen too.
Vernon Fiddler, the 9th shooter for Dallas. Fiddler going wide. Now back to the middle. Fakes. Crawford stayed with him on the backhand.
I think this one goes off the post too. Fiddler goes roof. Hits the corner of the crossbar of the post, and it stays out.
Andrew Shaw will be next up for Chicago. All right, now Shaw. He moves in with speed. Shoots into the glove of Lettinen. And these coaches are going to start running out of forwards here pretty soon.
Yeah. Well, we've talked about these goalies reading the shooters, and again, reading Shaw perfectly. Puck might have gone just a little on edge as he was shooting it, but a good glove save from Lettinen.
And sure enough, next up is a D-man for Dallas, Jordy Ben. All right, Ben in on Crawford, stick handling, and lost it. Crawford might have gotten a piece with a poke check.
Yeah, he's really good with a stick, and he keeps players honest, especially when they're close by. Watch him.
Shooting next for Chicago, number 16, Marcus.
Just the swipe of the stick, and Ben mishandles it.
All right, here's Marcus Kruger. Kruger in on Lettinen. Shooting. Lettinen says no.
I wonder when one of these players will try something, you know, a little risque, maybe going between the legs and trying to shelf it. Kruger trying to go 5-hole. It's not there.
Nichushkin, highly skilled Soviet now. Next up for the Stars. In on Crawford, who makes the save.
Well, these guys have been lights out. I mean, what these goalies are doing right now is really remarkable. Not only through the game, but now here in the shootout.
Bottom of the 11th. Here's Ben Smith with a chance to win it. Smith, who's had a real good road trip, moves in, shoots. Hawks win! Hawks win! Ben Smith fired it by the glove side of Kari Lettinen. And Smith, the 11th Blackhawks shooter, wins it for Chicago.
What a shot. I mean, this thing comes out of the net as quickly as it goes in. Just a great snapshot. Watch from the end zone view. Beats him cleanly, right over his glove. A big goal by Ben Smith in the shootout. He had a strong game through 65 minutes. He wins it for Chicago.
And you are looking at, well, there's Corey Crawford, his 100th NHL win. He's now 100, 47-22. He's won twice as many games as he's lost in his NHL time. And our Lexus Pursuing Perfection player of the game is the guy who finally was able to solve, Kari Lehtonen. Ben Smith, the 11th Blackhawks shooter, able to pump it by the left side. So he is our Lexus Pursuing Perfection player of the game, continuing a very strong road trip. And speaking of strong, the Blackhawks are now 5-1 on the trip. And in their last 16 games, 2 losses, 13-2-1. The Chicago mark over the last 4 weeks. Well, that's the story from Dallas tonight for our entire CSN crew and for Steve Conroy, Pat Foley. Hoping you enjoyed the broadcast. We know you enjoyed the outcome. The Hawks 2, the Stars 1 in a shootout. Stay with us. Luke Stuckmeyer is back in the Chicago studios with all the post game. Here's Luke.